Hello everyone, I'm Lori. Welcome back to Milkweeds and Roses. I have been very busy in the garden. So busy that, you know what? I need to remember to attach a microphone and video and take you along on this journey. Things are looking so beautiful right now though. I just had to pause from my work to show you how things are looking. In particular, after 4 years of work, Teresa Bonet, my climbing rose, is finally climbing and looking great. But so is so much of the garden here, especially the hosta garden, as you can see behind me. Unbelievable. I do have a couple of hacks that I've used this year for the first time. And we had a mild winter, which I think helped a lot. But I can prattle on. Let's just take a look. Come along with me. And I don't want to disturb her, but nestled up there in the top, another reason for my success, I give her credit, is my mama robin. She's sitting on at least 3 babies right now that have hatched. And she's always looking for bugs to grab, whether it's caterpillars or moths or you name it. So she's feeding a lot of young here. I hope you can see her. I'll take a look from the other side, but I don't want to disturb her. But she's doing really well, and so are the babies. And she has such a beautiful view every morning from her perch up there. So she's always welcome. So this is my favorite view of the garden, frankly. I guess that's why I always start here. And there's my little garden helper, Gabe, coming back from exploring and defending his territory. Hostas are over his head by now. There he is.
Hey there, bud. There's a boy. You made it. You're so brave. You're so brave.
But to start with, I have my iris here. They've been here a long time, just budded up and ready to bloom. I've thinned these and divided these last year and the year before. And the fish always swim up to greet me. It's very peaceful in the backyard to have the fish there. Absolutely, for sure. But I love how the hostas and things are just in their top form this time of year. And this particular patch doesn't seem to get bothered by slugs historically. And I'm glad that's still the case this year, because it's nothing quite like seeing the rain pool on the leaves without all the holes of slugs in them. Yeah, so this patch here, and also so near the bird feeder, I'd find that birds are always scratching at the ground and pecking off any sort of little insects and bugs, so it's kind of a natural repellent. And I love to have them screen the dying foliage of the tulips. Love the tulips, but not the length of time that it takes for the foliage to properly die back and re-energize the bulbs so they come back again next year. But I do like how things are up and growing. More nasty tulip foliage. And, oh, yeah, back it up. There we go. A look at the ground squirrel home. They excavate under there. So that's one of the things that if Gabe sees them out and about, he gives them a good chase. But I have some foxtail lilies all budded up. They do need to be staked because these get heavy with blooms and start to lean when they start to open up from the bottom up. And that's a weed. Yes, it is. I need to cut that out. My hollyhocks, rabbits kind of devastate those early on. My blue wood aster, just planted that. Nice, tall blue blooms, and so I look forward to that. I probably should have trimmed the wisteria a little bit more than I did. I think I would have more blooms up here, more buds. I see a few sporadic racemes ready to bloom, but it's still early. Meanwhile, wow, the columbine is taking off. This columbine, I love the blue. That's been there. I planted that last year. Looks good. And the red, this has been in place 3 years now. Looks good. This is Verbena bonariensis. Not hardy in my zone, but it'll be nice. When it does bloom, I just treat it like an annual. My columbines, meanwhile, do come back year after year. The hummingbirds, the bees, all love them. For such a delicate flower, they're pretty hardy. And this is the willow stakes that I put up for my roses this year, new this year. I got a variety or several of those. It just seems more natural in the garden than the metal in the chicken wire. And my rose all budded up, ready to go. This grass here that I'd given up on, I'm surprised it's back. My Iberson's geranium, hardy geranium in bloom. So when that fades, I'll cut them back and apparently they'll bloom again. This rose looks good. Give it a good fertilizer. And as you'll see in there, I have beneficial insects. I got these from Heirloom Roses, a subscription. I think it's like $50 or something. But I figure well worth it if I can get sawfly and some of the other things away from my roses this year. I just hope I put them down in time. Twist and shout. No signs of life here. I'm not going to cut it out yet. I'm trying to be patient. Gosh. Ivy's looking good. Creeping in from the neighbors. Yeah. And this was a sedum, Autumn Joy sedum, that I just stuck a stick in there. It broke off. Boy, Empress Wu, hosta. Wow, you have to back up to get all her full glory. Bigger than life. And because her leaves are thick and waxy, traditionally has never really been bothered by hostas. Or, I'm sorry, by hostas, bothered by slugs. I put mesh, copper mesh around my hostas, the base of my hostas this year. I heard, and I don't know if this is true, it seems true so far, that it's a natural slug repellent. I'm happy to try it, and I don't know if that's why the slugs haven't come up yet. Knock on wood. But yeah, so far, so good. The hostas that are usually decimated this time of year, like Lipstick Blonde and Twist and Shout, like this one, I just haven't seen slugs come up yet. And I don't use any slug repellent or pesticide, so here's Lipstick Blonde, I believe. But yes, it looks good so far. So, yeah, love the red stem. But again, the nice little copper mesh around there. We'll see if it holds true. They recommend putting it around, the lip of a pot to protect hostas. But I thought, why wouldn't that work in the ground? Well, I don't know. But I like this overall vista. The blue hostas combined with, there's my sambuca, I call it. In the back, looking good, putting on some growth. And my climbing hydrangea, man, they grow slowly, especially with all the root competition of the trees that surround it, but it's still alive and kicking. And Jacob's Ladder. I like this here with the combination, bringing out the blue and the silver with the blue hosta. Yeah, I like that combination. So that looks good. I think I need to duplicate that in more places. Some hepatica coming up. I believe that's what that is. Planted that last year. I keep adding some bulbs bit by bit, or roots or dormant things here in the fall, and just kind of see. Not all of it is a success. Drinking gourd hostas have never looked better. They're super tall now. I don't know if it was the mild winter, but I'll take it. I'll welcome it. Oh, pardon the finger. I like my neighbor's bleeding heart coming through the fence there. That was kind of nice. Okay, and yes, more drinking gourd hostas, because again, the blue, thick, waxy leaves of that type of hosta tend to be more naturally slug repellent. So, yeah, bring on the blue. Tall phlox, the nice lilac-colored flowers you're seeing there. So far, the finger again. And more drinking gourd hosta. Some astilbe, not in bloom yet. But the overall vista is, I like that. Green and lush. The canopy of, that's a 30-year-old crabapple, which naturally was in place when we got the house. I added Virginia this year, Sakura. And they call it pig squeak. You rub the leaves together and it makes an oink sound, like a squeaky sound. But they have tall, pink, fuchsia-like flowers. So I thought, that'll be a nice little spot in here. I've tried it other places, but it just gets too dry. and it needs some moisture. So it's in the root zone of we've got Liberty hosta, Miss America hosta, and different things in here. And look at, my, I think it's boomerang lilac in bloom. I wish I had smell-o-vision. So you guys could, oh my gosh, this just smells so good. Smells so good. I have Generous Gardener winding up the trellis there. This is New Dawn. I only have really one healthy cane. I don't know. But I love the way that's the Sweet Autumn Clematis on the move. And my bearded hosta, tall bearded iris in bloom. And I love the way Teresa Bonet finally, this feels like an entrance to a secret garden, all covered in blooms, a bloom-colored archway leading into my garden. This is the best that Teresa Bonet has ever looked, and she's been in here about 4 years now. But I love the open stamens. She is fragrant for me. Nice fruity smell. Ugh, fingers again. And hey, there's my buddy. Has to follow me. All good. John Warren Clematis. Not a tall clematis, but it certainly makes an impression. And Teresa Bonet, because I trained the canes horizontally in the fall, they finally look good. So I love that. Took a while. Oh, pardon my shadow. But yeah, it has a tendency to just grow straight up and only flower at the top. That's why you have to bend the canes horizontally to get those to bloom all the way across the trellis there. And with the John Warren, it opens with a deeper pink and then fades. But yeah, just to get the blooms, finally. Hate to make such a big deal about it, guys, but it is a first for me. How beautiful. I have Naomi Clematis in bloom for the first time. Isn't she gorgeous? Trained her to go up this trellis just this year, and she's taking to it. More blooms to come. And Clematis nubia, the smaller one, is right on her heels. Coming up in here. I don't know if she'll bloom this year. Oh, look at that, little tiny little bloom. She will. Okay, it's all good. And once again, Al's choice is choosing not to give me any blooms. The foliage looks good, but no blooms again. It does mask the dying tulip foliage, though. Hardest part about planting tulips, gorgeous in the spring, but you gotta wait to let it die back naturally to gather energy for the bulbs to rebloom next spring. So that's how that goes. It looks like I have a Stokesia, a blue star aster coming back. I hope that's what it is. Stand By Me lavender in bloom, gorgeous. And again, this is not a climbing, it's more of a sprawling. So I do have her attached to my rose trellis along with Lady in Red, who is budding up but hasn't bloomed yet. Gorgeous. Salvia Profusion blooming in the background. I planted her last spring, so she likes it nice and dry, tucked under the eave spout here where they don't get a lot of rain. Quicksilver Rose, after some early worrying cane dieback from the winter. Had to prune her actually kind of hard. But she is coming back, so I need to get her trained to go sideways to promote blooms on the horizontal. That's nice. Some other things here. This will be a gorgeous type of allium, which I love. And this is the Louise Clements rose, which does have some sawfly I'm seeing. I don't like what it does to the look of the foliage here, but I'm not a big fan of all the chemicals needed to stop it. Teeny tiny little spider right there, which is not probably going to be big enough to grab those guys. We'll see. I like my bearded iris in bloom here. Gorgeous. I've now officially dubbed this wedding dress because as far as I can tell, the tag was lost years ago. It's been in here like, I don't know, 7 years. And I planted it when I was working pretty frantically, full time, sometimes 100 hours a week. So yeah, the tags would get lost, and so was I. But as far as I can tell, there's a profusion of little tiny white flowers. Not a lot of fragrance, but open stamens. Pollinators love it. Comes in a spray, almost like a floribunda here. And it's vigorous, it's hardy, and I've trained a clematis to amble through it. Again, I did have to prune it back significantly this year, which was unusual for this one, but I had some worrying cane dieback. Another bearded iris in bloom. Gorgeous, hello. Oh, you are so pretty. Yes, teeny tiny little buds, I think. Yep, there we go, for my clematis. Nice. Okay. And I have cat's pajamas and cat's meow nepeta in bloom here, and you'll notice it gets heavy with blooms. Pollinators love it, and then it sprawls, flops. So I have to recut it once this bloom is done. I've added English Miss this time. It's new to this border. Got it from Heirloom Roses. My red mum is coming back, and this time I'm going to remember to prune it. So that'll be my next step. Another bearded iris budded up. My cream baptisia, Decadence Vanilla Cream Baptisia. This is the first time it's bloomed. Beautiful. And again, the pollinators love this plant. And I can see why. And nothing seems to touch it, not rabbits. I don't know about deer. I don't have that problem, but yeah, so far so good. We'll have some more bearded iris coming later. Teeny tiny tucked away. Little bloom. Starting to open. Chives. I was told to plant them near roses to deter digging animals and, rabbits. But they took out the rose that was originally there anyway. So, I don't know. It's a nice thought. Now this is another, yes, you can see why it needs to be cut after it blooms, because it opens up, gets too leggy, and then just sprawls. So again, I'm not going to cut it right now. It's just getting ready to bud up and bloom. Salvia. Rabbits don't touch it though, so that's nice. And some sedum that was planted last year. Rockin' Round. See, and again, Rockin' Round, pure joy sedum. If I don't put the tag in, I'm not going to remember it. Rockin' Round, pure joy sedum. A blue, cute little clump of sedum. It will have some nice pink flowers. My allium, looking good. It does benefit from other plants to prop it up though, that's for sure. My still unnamed rose, along with the beneficial insect attachment here, which seems to be working. Gosh, I don't see anything on this rose. No sign of sawfly. Again, it's not just what you put on it, but when you put on it. When you put it on, sometimes the sawflies have already hatched and they're crawling up. So there has to be time for those insects to hatch and go get them. So now I'm thinking this, I can't recall what this plant is in here, but I added these willow cages to help prop up my roses this year. And so far so good. nice rose, getting ready to come back, along with my tiger lilies, which benefit from being staked up because they do get so tall, they flop. But see, they'll just grow right through this. I got this willow cage, it's 25 bucks. I mean, not cheap really, but in hindsight, looks so much better and adds a little more stylish flair to the garden. And it's natural materials. So I'd rather see this and pay for this than the metal stakes and some of the other things that I was using that were just all I'd see were the stakes. And these I don't mind because they look kind of artistic to me. Yes, we still have the flop situation here. They get so tall, but when they bloom now, when they finish blooming, I'm going to cut them back so they'll reflush from the base, from the center, and look better. I added some diorama this year, and hopefully they will take off. I know they're not hardy for my zone. I think it's zone 7, and if I'm lucky, I can get a zone 6 plant to winter over because of the overhang, and it's dry, and it faces south, but that's pushing it. Now here comes Daddy to feed. Daddy's feeding. They take turns, rabbits do, feeding their young. Mom and Dad do. Oh, sweet babies. That's it for this episode of Milkweeds and Roses Gardener. I've got work to do. I've got to get going. But thanks for joining me. I promise I will do better at bringing you along on some of these garden tasks because there's still so much to do. I have all these containers to fill. There's some weeding involved, always. But I look at it like exercise, right? Yes. So, I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye.